All right, now that we've got our Office web apps activated, we want to go ahead and start opening up some documents. Let's start with our email etiquette training, this Word document. I'm going to go to my drop-down and choose View in Browser. And it was just that easy. It just went ahead, popped open right here in my browser. See this? I'm in Internet Explorer. I didn't open up Microsoft Office Word on this computer. It's in the browser. Now I can go ahead and I can't really do anything. I'm trying to delete. That's because we told it just to view. If I wanted to edit in the browser, you see I have that button there. I can go ahead and click and give it a second to load up. There we go. Now we can go ahead and edit this document. It looks a little bit different, doesn't it? But that's okay. When I go ahead and make changes and go back to viewing it, it'll be just fine. It'll look like a regular document. Now it looks just like if you're using Microsoft Word and you have that view down in the lower right corner that is for web page, it kind of looks like that, doesn't it? Now, take a look at the ribbon up here. You'll notice, again, if you use Microsoft Word, that there's a lot of things missing. Like I told you, the Office web apps are really light, really stripped down. There's only a limited amount of things that you can do with it. And Word has kind of the most options of all of the web apps. I can insert pictures, tables, clip art, links, and I can change to the editing or a reading view, which essentially is what we were at before. And from the home page, I simply have, for the most part, just basic formatting tools. All right, and to get back, I simply can use my back arrow, although it's taking me through all of the steps, or I could have just went ahead and selected that page from my drop down again. Now let's go ahead and let's take a look at PowerPoint. Now I want to show you, the last time I went to the little drop down and chose View in Browser, but if I simply click on the document, it's going to go ahead and open up in that browser right away. That's because when the Office web apps are installed, that's the default, is to open up in the browser. They assume if you're using Office web apps, that means you want to use Office web apps. You don't necessarily want to go ahead and open things up in that particular program. So now we see that we have a PowerPoint presentation. And here, watch this. If I go ahead and start slideshow, give it a second to load up, it's going to go ahead and run full screen, even with all of the animations. That was my fault. I clicked when I should have just let it do its thing. Just like that. And I hit my escape key to get out. And again, I can go ahead and edit in the browser. And see, just like using PowerPoint. But again, very, very limiting as to the options that I have. It's not meant to be a full Office replacement. It's just for doing simple editing. All right, let's go ahead and let's get back here. And before we go to OneNote, I want to switch to our main intranet site, and let's take a look at Excel. I'm going to open up this Excel document, and again, open up right in the browser. I have my edit in browser, so let's go ahead and click there. And again, very, very minimal options that you can do with Excel. Even less features on the Insert tab. But you still have support for multiple worksheets. Now, let's go back here, open this up again, and choose to open up in Excel. And watch what happens. And this is going to be the same with your Word or your PowerPoint as well. If I don't have enough options in my ribbon from the web apps, I need to go ahead and open up Excel to edit this document. Of course, now I have to have Excel installed on the computer. And I do on this computer, so it's not a problem. When I go ahead and tell it to open in Excel or Word or PowerPoint, whichever, it's going to go ahead and give me this option. Do I want it as read only or edit? I'm going to choose edit because that's why I'm opening it. I want to edit it. And when I choose OK, look at this. See this? It's asking me for my password because remember, this document doesn't live on my computer. It lives on SharePoint. So I need to go ahead and put in my password to access it. And even though I told it to edit, I still have to enable editing up here. So one of those silly little things. And now I'm actually opened up in Excel, and I can do anything I want. I have the full-blown Excel here. All of my tabs, all of my features, everything. And then I can go ahead and edit this in any way that I wish. So let's go ahead, let's close that. Let's go back to our SharePoint, and actually let's go back to training documents. And now let's take a look at, lastly, the OneNote. And we'll go ahead and view in browser again and see OneNote, very much the same, just like all of the others. I can choose to edit in the browser. And again, a very, very lightweight, very slimmed down version of OneNote. And those are your Office web apps.